Good morning, everyone. Maria Vanga here. Maria Vanga, founder of the association Hope for the Abuse and the Battered. Maria Vanga, lawyer, psychotherapist, motivational speaker, inspirational author, so many things in one. And today is Wednesday, and it's a wonderful day. You know, they said that this week the rain was going to fall from Monday to Wednesday, and people should stay home. And I'm just like, which rain? I don't know whether the meteorology things work in this country, but okay, well, so I'm just grateful that there's no rain and that we can go about our activities, and yeah, some people actually do field work. So if the rain has to be falling non-stop, then they cannot go out and do what they have to do. I'm thinking especially about organizations. Although Corona, the pandemic has made it kind of impossible or unadvisable to carry out field work with large gatherings and stuff like that. What can we do, right? If you have to do that, then you have to do that. I want to reflect on what organization growth and public-private support. I registered Hope for the Abuse and Battered on the 10th of December 2018. So it is actually a year and a half and some months. So my baby, that's my baby. And yeah, I'm wearing my grandma's fabric. I'm my grandmother's granddaughter. My grandmother was a very big community organizer and a dynamic woman in the community. Where's grandma's book even? Grandma, let me look for my grandma's book. Yes, this is my grandma's book. The Lives and Times of a Humble Servant. So that is a fabric from which I am cut, my grandmother. And many people have told me that I look a lot like my grandma. So this is it. And every day I remind myself that I am my grandmother's granddaughter. And that I took a lot from her, a lot of traits from my grandmother. And one of them is, to be very honest, I'm a very charitable person. I give a lot. And even my own mother once told me, you took that from your grandmother. Like, you give away everything and you give and give and give, even if nobody gives you in return. And sometimes I'll tell her, okay, I've learned my lesson, I will stop giving. Before you know it, I've started giving again. One day I was talking to her, I said, I'm not doing it again. She said, you have said it so many times, so stop saying it. And so I decided to stop saying it. I told myself, well, as long as it is to somebody in need, or it is for the advancement of God's kingdom, or it is out of love, all of that, I will keep doing it. And I will stop evaluating or looking at it from the point of if people do it back for me, if people give me too, and all of that. So that means that it has been a difficult thing for me to ask. You know, the Bible says, ask and you shall receive. Sometimes I just joke on Facebook and say, let me just ask and see what will happen. I say, I'm asking for a skipping rope. And somebody's like, oh, I'll buy you a skipping rope. I was like, wow. I asked for a journal and somebody said, oh, I'm sending the journal. Give me an address. And I was like, before me, people who know me, I would just stay me there. Why am I asking people, But for me, ask me. Like somebody asked me last night. It's not that I have learned how to set boundaries, but they were like, I need an emergency this morning. And I was like, no. You must have thought about it and stuff like that, but whatever. So when you have an organization and it is growing, I don't think that anybody creates an organization so that it should not grow. So when it is growing, you need resources to expand your outreach, and you need to fundraise, right? Because even when you get a grant, the grant is not going to cover your project 100%. And you need to also show them that you yourself, you can raise money. And you don't have money on your own. I mean, even if you have money, you have to live and all of those things. So the money you will need to carry out the other parts of the project, which you said you were going to execute with your own funds, you have to raise those funds. How else do you raise funds apart from coming to the public, doing those kind of things? And it takes a lot of I had to pray and cry and pray and cry and try to bargain with God. Nada. He told me, let me tell you the words he used. Look at you, if it's to run your mouth and go and ask for sports shoes and skipping rope, you'll be there on Facebook jumping all over the place. Now it's time. I was like, oh my goodness. So I was like, okay, who can I even reach out to for advice or for guidance? He said, write to your sister Veronica now. So, you know, one thing I wrote in my last book, no more bargaining with God. So once he told me, I was like, okay, whatever she tells me to do, I will do. And to be honest, I was not expecting her to pick it up and say, I will champion the fundraising for you. But I knew she was going to give me some guidelines, and I was just happy when she said she would not only support me, but she will champion the fundraising if I want. Of course, I want. So I was like, oh my goodness. So this morning I was just dancing for gratitude, because two people have already sent me money for 4 children. Some other people have sent money to her, and another person has already put me in contact with somebody. I'm going to get the money on Monday. Another person will send on Saturday. One person even reached out to me to give me some tips on how to go about it, to encourage me, because this is the first big fundraising I am doing for 87 children for a total amount of like 870,000. Hey, if people don't chip in like even 10 or 5,000, where will I get 870,000 from, you know? And this brings me to the second part, support, public and private support. Now, what I have learned in my not only close to 2 years with H4AB, but before H4AB, I am still with GBM. It's just a crisis that has stalled our activities, because our pilot area was Fontaine, Nebialem. GBM is the Gabriel Bombay Chen Foundation for Epilepsy and Mental Wellbeing. And I had done 1 GoFundMe or 2 GoFundMes for some of our events. It wasn't really strategic and didn't bring in much, but whatever. So that kind of introduced me to fundraising and to appreciating support, and to knowing that you can have a big crowd, but that crowd might not necessarily be the ones who will support you with the money or even with the encouragement and stuff like that. And that crowd might be public and private. Public is like social media, all of those people you don't necessarily know, like physically or family. Private for me is family. Now, when I put the two, is because sometimes the support you get from both of them, it will bring in a lot of surprises, and in some of those surprises you might even get angry, you might get discouraged, you might get frustrated, you might get whatsoever, you know. But my dear, can you force anybody to support you? Even if it is family, do they like what you are doing in the first place? And if they don't like, are you going to force them to like it? And even if they like it, must they support it and the way you want them to support it? So for all of those answers, I asked myself, and I got no. So I made my peace with that part, and I'm like, I don't even share like privately, seriously, what I'm doing, because I know that if they want to know, they might not only ask me, but they can see me. They know that I'm all over the place on social media. So it's not something like, this is what I want to do, what do you think about it? Now I've outgrown that stage in my life. Like, no, because I need to be honest with myself. The few times I didn't get to, I was like, okay, some people would give me different advice in some areas, and some would just be like, oh, keep doing it. That's already too much support for them. So I appreciate the support, and I continue on my road. Now look at public, and this is why I don't joke with my public family, what people call Facebook family or online family. Family must not be blood, must not. Don't go get into shock and all the frustration and everything because your family is not supporting what you are doing. They might have their reasons why they're not supporting, or they might not even know or want to know. You know, I have a relative who told me, you have had to go working with people who have been raped. I cannot. So, well, maybe they think that's all I do. So I'm not even going to try to start saying, no, but I don't only work with people who have been raped. And then, well, if I have that heart now, I need some support too. I just don't go there, you know. So just spare that energy. Public, there are people, even all the thousands of followers that you have, at least they give you moral support, or once in a while they reach out and thank you for something or whatever. Just don't bother about it. There are people who will surprise you, reach out to you, do send support on the spot. Like I put up something yesterday. How urgent was it for somebody to just send in their own support for 2 children, not even one? The same yesterday, another person has done today, another person has. So that is the same thing that I also do when I can, when other people put up things. So I had to put that in my mind that people can react that way. And then secondly, what did I want to say? Yeah, well, some people are also out there just to see where they can criticize and where they can point out your mistakes, where they can chit chat, chochori, whatsoever, all of those things. Allow them there. When Jesus was here, did he flog any? Did he kill? People were there. They were those who were saying, hey, 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 Messiah. Those who were saying, crucify him. All of that. What does the Bible tell us? Allow them to grow. When it will be time, you pluck out. So don't bother yourself. Like, for example, I used to think, oh, people tag me all the time. I let their things on my timeline. When I tag them, they don't. And I'm like, so I'm very careful about it, and I'm very appreciative of those who even share when I tag them, and those who even share without me tagging them. You just need to appreciate, and learn. And there is this. So as I said, I'm learning and I'm growing. H4AB is growing. We don't grow at the same rate. Even if you started before H4AB, we are not competing. And I can grow very fast and then stop at a level, and I'm helping other people to grow very fast. So the reason why I grow very fast is so that I can learn a lot to help other people grow very fast. So don't complain, don't compare, don't do that. You don't know, everybody has their journey. I mean, I'm even surprised at my own journey, but I'm like, well, if the will of God, what can I do? What can I say? I'm like, Father, so please don't give up. If you have an organization, don't compare with another one. Don't say, hey, why is Maria Banga's own just growing like that? You don't know my journey. You don't know how many other things I have done which have not grown like group like that. And if I'm still facing challenges in this growing process, don't do that. So yes, I want to share this comment which I made on a sister's YouTube channel, AC Mbeng. She has some organizations, Canabilities, and some interests, every little life matters and stuff. So she also has this show, The Voice of Hope and Empowerment, and she does Monday motivation. I love listening to those Monday motivations because it's just like motivating my week, and sometimes I find them so timely, like this one where she was talking about 7+1 things to know when people don't support you. And yeah, I said this is as timely for me, especially as you can imagine, now that I'm progressing with my work with Hope Forabusedbattered and needing to take fundraising seriously, right? And I had to first deal with such issues, and it's been close to 2 years of learning, and I'm ready to start sharing some tips too. So I really thank her for that and just encourage her. And that's the link to the clip that she did. So don't give up. Don't give up. It might be a little uncomfortable in the beginning, little, challenging, and you might share to your 5,000 followers and maybe 30 pick it up. At least, no, not at least, up to 30 pick it up, because it could even be one. I remember once watching Ty Perry, the Ty Perry we all know today, say how his first play, he put all his money inside, organized the thing, distributed tracks, did all the noise, and nobody showed up. Hey, nobody showed up. Today, he doesn't even organize anything anymore like that. Yeah, see that? I mean, people watch his movies and he doesn't even need to be standing there. For people stand online to watch. He has private jet. He has all kinds of things now. So it is not something that you will just see it happen between today and tomorrow. And the support must not come from the sources you were hoping the support will come from. And I think that my grandma in particular, my grandma like this. Oh, I saw her. I was talking with somebody on Sunday and I said, I remember 2 instances where my grandma taught me to stay convicted to what you believe in. And that is one of the points AC raised. remembering why you are doing what you are doing. It is not for those particular families, I don't know them. It is for those children. And for those children, out of love, and so whether they come back to say thank you or not, behave like Jesus and the lepers or all of those things, must they? You have healed them, you've helped them, and then life goes on. I saw my grandma once continue to go to somewhere where she was no more welcome. And I could not understand why at that time, but today I can understand. I saw her continue to make peace between people who were not at peace, even though, you know, some started to draw away, and I was like, grandma, you follow people up to that extent. And yes, finally, even as an individual, sometimes you can do things for people and, you know, the gratitude is not there and all of that, and you're like, I'm not going to do this for anybody again. No, it's that particular person who has done something. It's not everybody who has done something. So don't base your decision on not helping people because one person you help did not show appreciation. Maybe that particular person you should not, or you might not want to help again, but not every other child. So I think my mother was right in saying you have said it so many times and you keep taking them in and you keep helping them. I mean, this time around I was really disappointed once more, but my life is, I mean, I'm alive, I'm healthy. It's not like I go a day without eating. I'm happy. So I will continue helping the children in every way, any way I can, right? So if you want to donate for project birth certificates for the IDPs, you know, if you cannot, I mean, you must not give 10K. 2 people can join and give 10K. 4 people can join and give 10K. You know, it is all soul. Just imagine not having a birth certificate. What else do you have? I couldn't imagine that people would not have birth certificates. See, I didn't even know it was such a complicated procedure. I'm a lawyer, but I didn't know it would be so complicated to get a birth certificate. But I've been on this thing for like 8 months, and I'm like, yes, I have to come public with this drive because no, I just have to spend the money, no, and we need all of those certificates and all of those things. So if you want to donate, you can Momo us directly to 672. The number is there, 576011. The name is Hope for the Abuse and Battered. The phone is there, and you can PayPal me directly, mariabanga@gmail.com. Yeah, I don't like me like that. That's one thing. Sometimes people lose faith in organizations when they put in their money and then you cannot have clean records and all of those things. I don't like me that kind of thing. So I will do that. If a donor says I'm anonymous, I respect. If say, yeah, you can use my first name, I will use, and I send letters of appreciation all the time, or I do whatever I have to do. Let's not take nothing for granted, right? But at the same time, let's not give up. And God's time is the best. His ways are not our ways. And in everything, give thanks. Come to Him with supplication, prayers, and thanksgiving. I'm just so grateful. I just had to wear my grandma's fabric, and when I wear it, I just feel like she's there, and we are doing this together. She used to organize women, first person of the cooperative. Okay, so let me get going, and thank you so much, everybody who joined. Thank you so much, all those who are donating, who will be donating, who are having thoughts of goodness for me and for the association, and yes, for those I'm helping and everything, and God bless us all.